What is Coast Fire, and how am I going to achieve incredible freedom in my life before the age of 21? How's it going, guys? My name's George and welcome to some brand new content on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Coast Fire and how I plan to have incredible freedom in my life and also have a secure and safe financial future, all before the age of 21. Let's jump right into it. So first I need to explain what Coast Fire actually is. Coast Fire is when you have enough money in investments that it will grow large enough with no additional contributions to be a large enough fund to support your retirement. To achieve Coast Fire, basically we have to have enough money invested that it will just grow large enough to hit our retirement target. So we could start with 100k down here and our target could be 1.5 million. So for example, it will take us about 30 years to go from here all the way up to here. Coast Fire is one of the segments of the FIRE movement, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. This movement causes a lot of controversy with the RE part of FIRE, which stands for Retire Early. However, this is not what most people aspire to do. Most people aspire to be financially independent so they could choose when they work and what they want to do. To achieve Coast Fire, I've set myself a few targets and ambitions that I have to meet before I can go Coast Fire, so I can be really secure during Coast Fire and have a good future set out for myself with minimal extra input. Please note that despite all my explaining this, that this is not just retiring. This is not I want to sit on a beach and do nothing for the rest of my life. I still want to work as I enjoy working and it gives me a purpose in life. I, however, just want to work something like 20 hours a week that is still enjoyable and fulfilling to me but doesn't take up all of my time. So I have time for other more enjoyable things that give me more value and happiness in my life. I do still intend to work around 20 hours a week. That's what I've worked out would be beneficial to me. This is so I can still pay all my bills, still live comfortably, go eat out, go have all those fun things that you want to do with your life and have a bit of splash money. The main point in me pursuing Coast Fire is for time freedom, which I'm sure everyone would love a little bit more of. My first financial target before I can Coast Fire is to hit $100,000 invested. Now this could be in stocks, real estate, crypto, you name it, I'll invest in it as long as it's got decent returns. Based on the average returns of the S&P 500, which tracks the 5 largest companies in America, we can expect to get an 8% return per year on average on our investment. Now, earlier in the video I stated that I wanted 100k invested before I wanted to Coast Fire. Now if we plug this into the calculator right here, it turns out that this $100,000 with an additional contribution of $100 per week and a fairly conservative return rate of 8% based on the S&P 500, this $100,000 would grow to $1.5 million in 30 years. Based on the 4% withdrawal rate, which is also a staple piece of knowledge from the FIRE movement, saying that if you remove 4% of your portfolio every year and you're getting 8% gains, 4% of your 8% returns will go towards inflation and the other 4% will be towards your withdrawal. So you basically have infinite money, as long as, of course, you don't spend more than your 4% withdrawal. So based on this rule, I can actually withdraw $60,000 per year from my $1.5 million portfolio once I wish to retire. Based off on these workings, I'll be financially independent on $60,000 a year by the age of 51, which to me is absolutely mind-blowing. By this point, I could not work another day in my life if I choose to, and that would be something incredible to achieve that by 51, only having put an additional $100 per week in there since I turned 21. That is just absolutely mind-blowing. On to my second target for my Coast Fire. My second target before I Coast Fire is to be able to side hustle $1,000 per month from the likes of YouTube, selling stuff on Trade Me, on Facebook Marketplace, and doing all these sorts of side jobs that don't take a lot of time. Like I don't want to directly translate time into money, so I basically want them to be able to have a really high return on money invested or other passive income sources. Once I reach this Coast Fire point, I'll have a lot of extra time for side hustles and jobs that I want to do, so I can make these more enjoyable and also make a little bit of money off them for things like holidays or investing back into my portfolio to ensure that I could hit my actual FIRE number earlier. My third and final goal to hit Coast Fire is quite a big one for my age. I'd be exceptionally happy if I can achieve this before 21, especially with the state of the housing market in my country, New Zealand, at the moment is just absolutely insane. So we'll crack into that. My third and I believe most ambitious target before I hit Coast Fire is to purchase a cash flow positive property or rental property. The returns on a property may not be as high as investing in stocks or especially things like crypto, which have had historically massive gains. But everyone needs somewhere to live, and if I can purchase a property, I can actually house hack it, get roommates in, and that will cover most of the mortgage. This will mean that I have little to no housing expenses, which is pretty insane considering how much housing costs most people. This will really help to lower my expenses, which means that I won't have to work as much in a week to pay my bills. This also means that if I choose to live the hippie life or the traveller's life, whatever you like to call it, I could go travelling for 12 months, rent my house out for a year, and if it's cash flow positive, I'll even make a little bit of money on the side as well as paying off the mortgage at the same time. This will add to my portfolio with little to no input from myself in terms of putting money into my investment. So today I've outlined 3 requirements for me to achieve Coast Fire before 21. I think these are going to be tough goals. I've got to grind really hard for these in the next year considering I'm about to turn 20, but I think these are achievable and I think I can do the job. With my 3 targets of having 100k invested, side hustling $1,000 a month, and owning an investment property, I think I've got a great future planned for myself with financial freedom and happiness, and also time freedom, which is the most valuable resource that we have. This is my plan to Coast Fire and live a life that I love. Let me know if you guys have ever tried to do anything like this or you wish to do anything like this. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it, bring out some more content on this. I'd like to think that I know quite a lot about personal finance compared to the average person, and I think I could really help anyone out that asks for it. Let me know what sort of content you'd like to see in the future. I'm thinking a bit of crypto investing with some of my mates, as well as more stocks, more personal finance, and more of this content, which is what I really enjoy. I really enjoyed learning about personal finance, investing, all that juicy stuff recently, and I'd love to share what I know with everyone else on the internet. So drop any video ideas you have for me down below and have a bloody good day. Cheers.